Hey everyone, this is your girl Keisha with the Players Club. I am rocking today with my girl So Pretty Tony and Bro Cleasy over there with Steady Server ENT. But before we're gonna talk. Look, we're gonna talk about Cheryl Reeve going off on the refs. We're gonna
Yep.
talk about the Aces take game 3 and the
Mhm.
Lynx fall to the Mercury. But before we get to
Diabolical.
that, look, before we get to that, I need y'all to hit the like button on this video. Please share and comment. Please subscribe to our channel. I am at My name is Keisha and I'm with Cut the Ish Real Talk Sports. And I am at 1,724 subscribers. I am on a journey to 1,800 subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button and get me there. Where are you, bro, Claude? Where are you in your journey?
I'm at um 2,300 and I believe 40 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I done went up 10 since this morning. And I appreciate everybody and what y'all do, everything that y'all have done, and everything that you will do. Being at 2,000 subscribers, 340 is like I didn't, talking to Keisha, and Keisha could bear witness. I thought I was going to have a harder time to get to these goals and for people to come because, of course, it's a narrative out there on us being a podcast not on the level. And I'm going to keep it a buck. But we're Angel Reese supporters. We support our girl, our baby girl, and of course, y'all know that this was a pro while she was on the team, a pro Sky team. Podcast was the Sky, and now we done broaden our horizons, and we cover every part of sports on this channel, from football to basketball, and then don't be surprised if you see some, some major league baseball, going all the way to the, going to the championship games. But I appreciate everybody, man. It's so pretty, Tony and Keisha. I just wanted y'all to say, not to be long, that we are growing right here, right here. I know we showed our individual, but nothing is best as a group than being together and putting this podcast together with the Players Club with me and Keisha. When we started off with zero. We at 1,237 on this show. We on our way to 1,300. Please get us there, and we so grateful. And that's it, Keisha.
Yeah. Look, please get us there. Especially the Players Club. I'll show y'all. We on the road to 1,300, so please get the Players Club there. And So Pretty Tony,
Hey, hey, hey.
tell me
Here
about your
we
journey, honey. So Pretty Tony is trying to get to she is trying to get to 300. She is
yes.
on her way.
Yep,
Look,
on my way. Thank y'all
so,
so
Oh,
much. I'm telling you. It's
what?
been
so
great.
please subscribe. But hey, we're about to get into it. First of all, we're gonna start off. Cheryl Reeve out here acting a fool. Let me just keep it a buck. Let me just keep it a buck. Let me show you guys the play that started it, how what unfolded after, and what Miss Cheryl Reeve said at the press conference. Hold on one, because she is not playing with the WNBA when it was all said and done. Um, all right, here we go, y'all. Let me go and put it up here. Hate to see feet go down, but it looked like it's just incidental contact. AT steals the ball. Cause yeah, it's just incidental. And he goes down, looks like an ankle injury. But what ensued after that? What ensued after that was something that me and Bro Claude like to call diabolical. Oh, hold on. This is Bro Claude's girl. Bro Claude's girl was up there tripping, man. You know, she was up there tripping. She said, "Look, I'm not." She told them all to go to hell. She told the fans to go to hell. She told the girl that touched. She told the girl that touched her, "F you." She told the person over there, "F you, F you, F you." And then she went to the podium and she continued to tell people "F you" for the rest of the night. Let's listen to what Cheryl
She was
Reeve.
on one, boy.
She was on one, boy. So let's listen to what Cheryl Reeve had to say. We're going to talk about it.
When you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants for some reason. We were trying to play through it. We tried to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0. And she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. Got her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out and probably has a fracture. And so if this is what our league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players, Masha's on the glass and gets cracked, and there's no call. And all of them said, "It wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't have that. I didn't see it that way." They're awful.
Well,
all right.
Guys, there's a lot to unpack there. Cheryl Reeves called it malpractice. She also called it that the league, it seems like the league wants to see this type of physicality in these games and that they are on board with this. And she is calling for a leadership change at the league level because this type of officiating leads to injuries, leads to fights, leads to things being escalated. My only thing is, it's been like this all season. But I'll let you go first, Tony. What do you think about Cheryl Reeve's comments? I would like to say this before you go.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams had the Lynx had 14 fouls called on them, and the Mercury had 15 fouls called on them. Take it away. You go, babe. Mm-hmm.
Well, watching the game, what I can see, yeah, I think the calls were even. Mm-hmm. However, it was the type of calls that was made that I think she has an issue with, and I can somewhat agree. However, this is the playoffs, and you're not going to get the normal calls you would get during a regular season game. That's just point blank. That's the way it is. If you're a sports fanatic and you've ever played the game, you know that that's how it goes. At the end of the day, should it be that bad? No. Mm-hmm. I don't think it should be that bad. You have to call out what needs to be called in the beginning of the game to kind of get control of the game. And refs know better than that. There's no way that the extreme physicality of that game nor the game before that should have happened where you're just missing just blatant calls. You call the simple ones, but you ignore the more physical ones, which again will get any player hurt. Now, for as her language, um, you still have to be professional. It's unfair. You can come in the post conference and you can say whatever you wish, but during the game is just things that you just don't do, especially when you know that you're trying to, and you have another game to go and you're trying to make sure that you're there physically. Because had she not stopped, and the ref could have given another one, and then she would have been gone for the next game. Right. So you just have to be careful as a coach. You have to be smart about it. But the games, a lot of the calls that should have been made was not made. That was just blatant. But the ones that I believe Cheryl's referring to are the ones I'm talking about, where no, the FISA didn't get a chance to go to the free throw line. And I'm going to just flat out say, yes, AT did get to go to the free throw line. So it's not the amount of calls that were made, it was the actual calls that were made, if that makes sense, right? Because if you miss the more physical portion of the game as a ref, like she said, it's fights. You got people in each other's face. I like a rough game. I like to see that, but sometimes it's unwarranted given the nature of where they are in the series at that point. So sometimes it just depends. And as refs, you have to weigh them accordingly. However, every game isn't going to be like that. But you can't let some things go that can cause a flat out brawl. And that has happened a lot this season, that refs have just let the more physical play of the game go and called the ticky tack, which I think is the craziest thing on the planet. But again, sometimes I know we lose our cool, but as a coach, you just can't do that. Not if you want to be there for your team. You got a player who is severely injured right now. We don't know the aspect of it. And the last thing you want to do is take yourself out the realm of the game, that even if you have an opportunity to win without her, they need you there as the coach. You're the most important part of what they're doing. So you have to make sure that you're there for your team at all times. And that's what I'll land on that. That's what I have to say.
You know what's so funny about this before I get to Bro Claude? Tony talked about the type of calls that were made. Funny part is, yes, Cheryl, Nafisa Kaya didn't get any free throw calls, but the other best player over there on the Mercury only got 2. The person that got the calls was Satu Sabli. She went to the line. She went to the line and had 11 free throws, but AT had only 2. She only went twice, the whole 4 quarters, and Fee never went now time. So I don't know if Cheryl Reeves. My problem with some of the comments is, I get it. We worry about our own team the most, but there's been a disparity against AT all season.
Yeah.
I land. Go, Bro Claude.
It's quite a few angles that we need to approach this situation and the subject that we are talking about. We all know that Cheryl Reeves is an outstanding and a remarkable coach. We know that she's a Hall of Famer coach. We know that she's seen more physicality than this game in particular because of the dark ages of the WNBA. She's been through all different types of wars. And if she said that this game in particular was the worst that she's ever seen, I take her word for it.
Yeah.
I think that she's lying about it. I do know that Nafisha Collier did not receive any time at the line, which is a disparity and diabolical, because no one gets hit more, just like Asia Wilson said. No one gets hit more than the people underneath the basket, right? No one gets more bruised up or beat up or slapped or elbowed or punched or thrown down on the ground more than the ones that's under the basket, correct? So to just have the number 2 player in the WNBA for the last 2 years, maybe 3, but the last 2 years at least, receive a whistle at no point. That's not what I'm saying is a whistle to the line. She received a couple of whistles, but let me speak correctly. A whistle to the line is diabolical. And I want to read this to you guys. The WNBA Leadership of Officials is overseen by Sue Block, the Vice President of the WNBA Refereeing Performance and Development, who works closely with the league's officials in its supporting and supported by the NBA Monty McCutcheon, the Senior Vice President of Refereeing and Training. These individuals are responsible for the training, development, and performance standards of the WNBA referees. Sue Blocks, as the head of the WNBA's referees performance and development, Block holds the primary role in the league's officiating structure. She previously had a long career as a WNBA referee and extensive experience in college officiating. Monty McCutcheon, the NBA's Senior Vice President of Refereeing and Training. McCutcheon oversees the development and standards of officials and officiating across the league, including the WNBA. He works with Block to ensure consistency in training and in experience. Now, I read that to you guys to show you that the NBA is also involved in this shit. There's a problem that has already been going on. It's a disparity on different levels. That's why I said, Keisha and Sister Tony, it's different angles. So you got the Senior Vice President picking out these people that they don't want in the NBA, because this is what happens. I'm going to break it down to you, because that's what you got. When you're looking at the NBA officials, the WNBA officials, those are the officials that the NBA rejects. Go look. I bet you I'll be right. These are the officials that's passed on to referee women's basketball. Bars. So now, we got these type of officials that are hand-me-down referees to go over exclusive games as such that we saw tonight. We got these type of referees, hand-me-downs, to be officiating a game 3, a pivotal stand on both sides, no matter what the team is, but a pivotal moment with the 4 teams that's right now at the highest standard of the WNBA watching hours. There should not be no other refereeing these exclusive semifinal games but the best of the best. Do y'all agree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
being that we don't have the best of the best, being that we don't have the top leader, and then, of course, Angelica, she is one of the leading referees that's the sister that got the half cut hair with the locks, so everybody will know who she is. Angelica is at most of the games. But neither one of these games she was at. And she was one of the heads. So we don't know exactly what happened with Angelica, but she should have been one of the referees that was over, especially this Lynx and Mercury game. So I will land with this. It's always possible to get better. But since you've been bad for so long, and this also goes for the non-quotable Keisha with the Chicago Sky. You've been bad for so long. It's hard to change your ways. But Kathy Engelberg, you better do something. You better do something, because just like I said last year, Keisha, she's responsible for the shit show that goes on in the WNBA. And I think allegedly she's all right with this one too. And I land.
Mm. Hey man, all I would say is, yeah, the free throw the refs are bad. They've been bad all season. They've been bad to the point where our baby girl Angel had to come into a press conference and say, "Could y'all please do something?" I mean, Cheryl Reeves got a tech earlier during the game, and then she got the tech that put her out the game, and then next thing you know, she telling everybody to F you and their mama. So I get I get her frustration. I get her frustration. I understand,
That's
and
my
I'm
girl.
she been around a long time, and she knows at this point that the ref situation has to be handled on a league level, because the fact that they keep sending these incompetent people to come out here and ref women games with all this momentum, they're gonna end up um they're gonna end up cycling their own momentum if they don't clean up this ref situation. But
Yep.
hey, we gonna get to the next game. The Aces take down um take down the Lynx. However, it was not without controversy,
Stop
because
without prejudice.
it was not without controversy. We have we have Becky Hammon was complaining herself, even though her team won. Um, AB is just AB, man. AB be doing, she be doing stuff, man. I don't know.
30,
I can't,
30 player.
I can't, I can't, I cannot, I cannot put it. I cannot, who, Lord. I can't take up for AB anymore. But
Nope.
okay, let's listen to what Becky Hammon, and Becky Hammon won the game, Jack. Let's start there. She won the game, and she still took out time to talk about the refs. Hold on, here we go. Let me get it up here. And there we go. All right, here we go.
I think she's fine. I thought she got hit a lot tonight. to shoot one free throw in 38 minutes. I know they told me not to say anything, but I can't.
And then just what were you able to see out of Jackie just living in the paint again? Like, what did you think she was doing well?
Well, we know they want to limit our ball movement. Um, staying quite locked up a lot of times on the perimeter. So, just getting the ball off 0.5 passes and actions, DHO, stuff like that, where we can get a little bit of a head of steam. When you try to go off it right from the jump, it's difficult. So kind of getting her off the ball to begin with, and then getting her the ball later in the possessions, I thought was more helpful for her. I think she's fine. I thought she got hit a lot tonight. To shoot one free throw in 38 minutes. I know they told me not to say anything, but I can't.
And then just what were you able to see out of
Sounds like a common theme.
Yeah.
Asia Wilson played 38 minutes. She went to the free throw line once. She shot 1 and 1.
Wow.
That was it. And this playoff win. A lot of people are talking about this play right here, and then I'm gonna get to y'all. A lot of people are talking about this play between AB and Asia. AB gotta stop this foolishness. Yes, Asia got frustrated, but I mean, after a while, you just like,
You
oh
have
no,
to.
this is not just Asia. She does this to a lot of players. Well, let me play it.
Yeah, let me see it.
So
She's
she's
see what
already
she does.
clamping down.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
But then Asia comes up to get off of her because she's clamping down. So, but it is what it is because the refs are not good. So we keep talking about the same. But yeah, here I'm gonna bring up the stat so y'all can see. Asia went there for one free throw,
Are you
and she
serious?
played 38 minutes.
Wow.
And yeah, she went one time.
That's insane.
They let her get beat up tonight. I guess because there's been this narrative out there that Asia gets a favorable whistle. So tonight they decided to flip the script on her, and she went and one time, and the Aces had 17 free throw shots, and the Fever had 21.
It was a call put out. You can say what you want to say, but I'm always out on top of my business, and I stand on it. It was a call put out for both teams, and those batch of referees was already talked to. What to do and what not to do. And this is why I get irritated with the WNBA and their shenanigans led by Kathy Engelberg. We know that she called the referees and the teams to get them off of Caitlin Clark, to let her come up at least to quarter ways to the half court line before defenses absolutely played on her, because she was getting played from the 94-50 mark most of the season last year. And of course, it started again this year. But what I'm mostly aggravated with, allegedly, Engelberg does not call this to order, Keisha. We are in freaking playoffs. Don't you think that the leadership should call the Miss Block and ask her to fix this situation before we get into the playoffs. We need to have the highest of the high. Get with
You would
Mr.
think.
Get with Mr. McCutcheon to say, hey, we need some of your NBA guys over here who called because they can get them, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can have those officials. And it's up to those officials to say, hey, well, I'm on vacation or I can't do this. But all of them that works for the NBA is not non-available. I don't believe that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I'm trying to say. You can hate a team all you want to, but the whole entire league is that. And I don't think they deserve players like Asia Wilson, Nafisha Kaya, Angel Reese, AT, different so and such. But AT can survive because she knows how to play bully ball. But certain
Right.
that Kalia Copper, she don't want to get hurt again. So she
Right.
has to really go into the hole like she knows how to do. So you got players who's hesitant to play their game because they know if they go in, the referee is not going to check nothing. And their career for the next year CBA is done. So I land with this. What we're doing and what we are watching, we're not complaining about shit because we know that it takes some to get some. We're not complaining about that. Keisha already made that clear. But here on the Players Club, we want it to be solid. We want to keep it a buck. We want we want it to be fair. And in the beginning of this game, I told y'all they let it go so bad that it was about to be a fight to break out. Then the last 2-minute mark, they called ticky-tack fouls in our land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony, I'm gonna let you get in here. I know. Rather do you see um rather do you see people, what you call it, complain when they win, but that's exactly what Becky Hammon did. Why is
Right.
it so hard to get this officiating? Why is it so hard?
I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It's literally
Mm-hmm.
insane. I wanted to pop this up, just kind of show you the fans after the win, and then I can go in and say what it is I need to say. But I wanted to show this, and this is just the fans cheering, so I can show this.
Okay.
Can through the whole word. And they're just chanting. They got the little flags, they're clapping, they doing the gritty. And sometimes I just want to show that. So I want to show that to say this, right? We talk about the officiating, and it's bad. We know it's bad. We know how it is in the playoffs. But when you are allowing in front of your own eyes, now we can talk about the last game and the calling and stuff like that and what took place. And I do hope Fee is okay. But when you think about this game and you clearly watching, you know what AB is doing. You know what she's doing. And it's one of those things where you say, when enough is enough. She hooks every player. If she's not hooking them, she's taking her butt and she's just bumping them out of the way. They get to their block, she bumps them and stiff arms them before they can even make a stance. And so when you're trying to fight to get yourself posted up, sometimes they want to call it on the other player. And however, she get her fair share of calls, AB do, but not as many that will allow her to stop doing what she's doing. You make these calls early on in the season and you get her under control, and then you can knock out some of this nonsense. But right now, we know that the game is, look, it's the playoff. Everybody's going to be physical. This is what you need to do when you get in there. We get that part. But when I'm just perturbed, right? Because you watch every single time she hooks. She gets up under their arm and then she'll hook them like that and just fall on back. Here she gets rest on top of, as you can see, on top of Asia's shoulder because she's taller. Just things like that you just cannot let go, right? Because that could be the difference of Asia either staying healthy or falling the wrong way and knocking her shoulder out, and then she's injured. So are we saying that we want players to violate each other so much that we injure each other? Because that's when you say, oh, that's just the nature of the game. No, some of that is not. Some of that is downright violent. You know, folks get arrested for shit like that on the normal streets. So you got to understand this is these women's career. Do we want to see them get hurt like this? No. Do we want to see them go through a whole lot of vitriol because they're complaining about the refs? No. But we have to at some point figure out who's going to say when. Is it that we're supposed to tear everybody down? That's a perfect picture. Look at that. In order for her to climb up there with Asia, she has to grab her arm and hook it to keep her from getting up there to try to get the rebound.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it's a part of the game. Don't get me wrong. It's a part of the game, and you get the bucket by any means necessary without getting caught. But when it is just blatant, and Asia typically did not complain very much in this game or the last game. But
And
I'm
she kept her
telling
head
you,
down, kept playing.
but
Mm-hmm.
down and kept playing and kept playing and fighting through it, because that is the battle of the coach. It's not the battle of the player. And I know we get frustrated as players, but looking at this and her grabbing Asia, hooking her, the way she hooked her, if Asia goes down sideways, Asia falls on that shoulder. You get my drift?
Mm-hmm.
And that spells an injury for the remainder of the playoffs. Oh yeah, I took out Asia, my turn, and I'm not saying, and don't come for me, YouTube or even fans. I'm not saying that this was her intent. Her intent was to hold her and keep her from getting the rebound. We get that, but in the midst of doing that, players can get hurt doing stuff like that, and we just have to be careful when we're teaching these professional players, how to hook and how to grab and how to maneuver to position themselves. But you got to call that, and you have to get this under control, because then that way, and only by that way, doing it like that, you are going to be able to fix the negative narrative of what's taking place now. Because now you've called it from the start of the season all the way through. And the players know what to expect when they go into the playoffs. But if you didn't call it, and oh yeah, you're in my house now, we know how the calls are, in other words, is what you're saying. Because I guarantee you, if you get that under control, whether it's her house or anybody else's house, she's going to stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
at least as often. Let's put it that way. Maybe not completely, but at least as often. And you got to do something about that. And I hate the fact that the refs are now going to be getting, they have such a bad reputation in the W because y'all just won't make the calls. I don't care who put in the call. You take an oath. I've seen that oath. You take an oath as a ref.
They do.
And you go and you violate these ladies like this by not making the calls. That's a problem. But I love the way that Asia handled it. I love the way that the Aces in the whole has handled this period, because the Fever has been overly aggressive. And they're not that much aggressive than Mercury is to the Lynx. I mean, they straight bully ball in the Lynx. And it is what it is. They got to, like I said, after the first game of the Fever and the Aces game, and I felt like Fever was aggressive and the Aces just kind of took a back seat and complained. But the game 2 and game 3, you have not heard hardly anything from them.
Right.
So
You know what it is when you, like I say multiple times, you know what it is when you walking in the door. Now, it shouldn't be that way. Life is not fair. It shouldn't be that way. But right now, currently, you know what it is. So you can either let them take you out of your game, or you can buck back at the system. I prefer to buck back at the system.
Yep.
So, because whatever you have planned, even if you had something planned, guess what? The Aces won 84 to 72. Because if you lose the mental game, most times you lose the game on the floor. And fouling is a mental game, so to speak. It's a physical game, but it is a mental game. Because I'm trying to get you out of your game.
Out of your river, out of your comfort zone.
I'm doing all this stuff because I feel like I can't stop you. If Aaliyah Boston felt confident in herself that she could stop Asia Wilson, she might not be doing all this clamping.
Yep.
But she's doing it because she feels like she can't stop you. And so if I keep doing these tactics, maybe you will give up. That's what it's being. That's why it's being done. That's why you got to fight through mentally. That's why Asia, even though she was 6-20 tonight, you got to keep fighting. You never saw her head went down. You never saw her look over and say, "I can't take this stuff no more." She just kept 38 minutes. She was out there, just kept plugging on along. I'm mad. Yeah, she threw Aaliyah Boston down when she had to get off her. Because she tried to break her arm. You're like, get up off me now. I ain't gonna let you do that. But she still kept her cool about herself, because I've said multiple times too, I probably couldn't be playing Tony, because I'd have been backhanded that heifer. No, I didn't mean to say that. I'd have been backhanded that chick.
Right.
But we got two, guys, we got 2 intense games. And at the end of both of them, all we talking about is the refs.
Yeah. And that's the refs. And that's all. That's at this point. I mean, because there's such a difference. There's such a difference maker. And it just make you just kind of just go, wow, right?
Yeah. It's
there's
like,
such
wow.
a difference maker in this, that it's.
And I'm with Cheryl Reeve. They know they need to fix this.
Like she said, that's the
But
way
will
to
they
lead.
fix it?
Nah.
She's of the mindset that this is the product they want to put on the floor.
Not until next year, the CBA. Not until the end. And they're not going to fix anything until the next playoffs. You're going to see bad officiating next year, too. I guarantee you that. But what they will do, I believe, with the help of the NBA, have better officials for the playoffs.
They did too.
But they should have helped out this year because this was
They should have.
this was
This is crazy.
a pivotal year for all of the players, right? Most of the 152 or 162 players that
Whatever it is.
in the WNBA, they've been hurt. Why have they been hurt? More hurt because of physicality than just actuality breakdown. We saw Courtney Vandersloot. She blew a gasket, okay? She blew a flat tire and went flat, okay? But some of that was on the player also leaning on her as she was progressively going to the basket, right? So we can say, okay, she's old and this and that and the other, but it's others. See, if I believe this, if the effect is real, the cause of it is real too. So I don't look past the cause of things. The effect of things, yes, it is what it is, like my baby girl Keisha say. The effect of it, it is what it is.
Right.
But what is the cause? You know, because of this happened. What about that? Everybody want to go past because? So because it's so misused that now people don't want to hear because they say, oh, that's an excuse. No. Well, the faucet was leaking because I didn't get a plumber to fix it. So what happened was it was a flood that went down into the basement. The cause of it is real. You got what I'm saying? So Kathy Engelberg, I'm gonna chirp, is one of the main reasons why everyone discredits the whole entire league. They let a franchise, two franchises that don't have landmark places and marquee places for their players. Not a front office spot, not a gymnasium, nor do they have a gym to own for the players to come and play. What type of league is this? What type of S has been going on? Well, I'll let y'all know. This was a failing league. And Caitlin Clark and Angel Reeve saved the league from its disparity. Because I believe if it wasn't for them, they would go back to 8 teams.
Yeah.
You know, lies are telling they were on a trending up. No, they wasn't. That's not true. What was trending up was the veterans were holding on for better opportunities. That was trending up. And the older players were playing better to keep their slot because they knew that it was going to be a whole slew in a generation that was going to come in to take them out. We spoke about that last year, Keisha, Brooklyn, and myself on KSAP show. So now what do you have? You have older players holding on, which Courtney Vandersloot is an example. And you got new blood coming in, Caitlin Clark, Angel, Paige Beckers, and all the other ones, Bud and Malunga and all of those young kids. What do you do with the referees? What do you do when the older players are trying to survive and they get people like Aaliyah Boston, who is a younger player? She's only in her 3rd year. People think that this is just Aaliyah Boston's 3rd year in the WNBA.
You're right.
And look at what happens when Aaliyah Boston injured people. She has literally injured people. And yes, Lexi Hall was injured. Yes, Sophie Kellingham was injured. Different ones. So I'm not pinning things on Indiana. I'm not pinning things on the Phoenix Mercury or the Lynx or anyone else. I'm talking about the league as a whole, Sister Keisha.
Mhm.
It's a horrible show, and it's the reason why we see shit show teams like the Sky, in particularly, not know how to handle the business. Because I say this always, Sister Keisha and Sister Tony, the head of the fish stinks, so will the tail. In our land.
I will say this: the WNBA was experiencing growth before Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Yes.
They were experiencing growth, but certain teams were experiencing growth. The ones
Yeah.
that were being run right were experiencing growth. The Aces were experiencing growth. The Lynx have had a steady growth. Um, those teams, the Storm, those teams were being run right. The ones that were not being run right were not experiencing growth. So because they're not all held to the same standard, you got everybody doing their own thing. Some are owned by the NBA, some are owned by themselves, and everybody's doing their own thing. And
Hmm.
so now you had the fever. You had the fever come in with Caitlin Clark. You had the Chicago Sky come in with Angel Reese. But as a whole, they're not a whole because they all disjointed doing their own thing.
Then,
And
yep.
part of this, the NBA is responsible for because they own some of these teams. They provide the referees. They provide all these things that are supposed to be organizational structure for the WNBA, and they know it is failing in the structural piece of this league, and they have allowed it to go on because they actually, in my opinion, don't want a product to be more than them because this product would be right now, it is rivaling them right now. So they have incentive, in my opinion. This is nobody's other's opinion. They like to snuff out anything that is a competition to them. They did that to Ice Cube with Big Three. When you have the WNBA under them, they're not gonna let this thing get bigger than them. The thing that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese did do is it has taken the stardom out of their hands. They can't
Right.
control it because now people that ran with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and what they feared is here, and they can't slow down this train because of those two ladies. They can't control the train anymore. They before they could control the train. They could decide how much the W grew and how much it didn't grow. So Arlene, that's a conspiracy theory for you. Hey NBA guys, I think you're sabotaging the W. But hey, that's just my conspiracy mindset going on right there. I don't have no concrete, but it's looking suspect because the
Yeah.
refs do come from you, and though you say and all these soliloquies about how much you love Caitlin Clark and her game, well, if you love Caitlin Clark and her game, LeBron and all these players and Adam Silver, then why you don't get us some better officials? I digress. Um,
So
we
question
gonna
is,
get up. I digress. A great question. Just asking. We gonna get up out of here. The Lynx fall to the Mercury. Feed went down. We're gonna see what happens with the Lynx. The Aces ran up on the Fever in their own building. They did. They didn't
Hand
care.
down, man down, it's
Man down.
going down.
They didn't care about that crowd. They didn't care about them towels. They didn't care about them officials. They ran them down and told them, "Look, player, y'all about to get up
mhm,
out of here." And I, I, I
get
I'm
out of here.
thinking they probably gonna try to do it in their own building and tell them to take that trick, take it.
Yep. They gonna try.
All
as they
right,
should.
y'all. We about to get up out of here. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Hit the like button,
Get it.
share, comment, and subscribe to me. We cut the ish Real Talk Sport. Bro Claude said it's serving Sports ENT, and Tony at Court Vision with So Pretty Tony. And y'all know y'all gotta subscribe to the Player Sub. We out of here. Thank
Love,
y'all.
peace, and hair grease. Love y'all so much. Y'all already know.
Stop
Man,
doing the half salutes for they come for me and give you a real salute.
Right.
And they
We,
sit there and I be like, ah, they're like, they do salute.
we out of here, y'all.
those pretty Tony, I love her so much.